Right. So, I'm curious about what you think about it. So I know that you're keeping a lot of the milanthropic information that we use as the Wikkani and the Synoptic as a Trinity culture out there, but I'm kind of wondering how you, Arcadia, um, are recording it, because obviously I don't really think that you're doing it the same way or method. I'm not sure what you're doing out there. I mean, I have to compare it somehow. So I want to know what you got. So what do you got? You know?
Okay, so what I discovered as far as me and Farina, like totally looking at the data as it were, is that, um, I mean, a lot of the stuff is concrete, but it's not proven enough to be like
Yeah.
from the dead, as if it's like karma.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to make sure that there's got to be some concrete connection to what's happening to them after they disrespect the dead and to what's actually being seen when they're getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing that Anarcon was bringing up. You know, this guy. It's not that we don't have the data about it. No matter whose data it pops up, whether it's from New Orleans or Serbia or from New York or from me, Jeannie Bell, Anarcoma, or Dark Sable, whatever. The whole thing is that it's always the same. It's not the same day as per se, but it really seems like about like after people, they disrespect the grave or kind of torment the family of those people who died, they seem to get sick or hurt or just flat out killed within 3 to 5 days. So the milanthropy that's happening here is not coming from us. Obviously, it's coming from the dead. And so that's the big thing. Obviously, there's demonic milanthropy, which is how demons mess with people's heads. And there's also angelic milanthropy, the way that they interfere, and these people who are dedicated to evil, they get rid of some of these people. So what we're doing here is trying to get at least some kind of concrete evidence, which is really hard to do, because the only thing we're going to be able to do is collect coincidences, and collect those coincidences, and how are we going to present that yeah. So it's just it's a little bit frustrating because you want more. We will want more to
Right.
present.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it is, really,
Yeah.
because we're running out of bad guys. But, I have Farina or Jeannie Bell, and we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Right.
So we'll have an offender, like somebody that's really naughty,
Uh huh.
and then, they have to be, of course, they're going to be skeptical and not believe anything, and that's just great. I mean, that's just great for us because what we're doing is like it doesn't matter what you believe, it's just going to happen. So we all get together and we do our craft, which is
Right.
not traditional witchcraft, of course. What it is psychological and metaphysical witchcraft, and it's definitely going to affect the person. It always does.
Right.
However, you know, this is us doing it, and we already have a high record of being successful. So it's not about proving that we can do it.
Yeah.
It's trying to understand if the dead that are disrespected are using milanthropy the way we do.
Exactly.
So we already put down some data, and it looks like, yeah, it's happening because you talked about bad fucking karma. It's really bad for them. I mean, as soon as they disrespect the dead, it takes maybe 4 days and something really bad happens to them.
Yeah, that's about the time. Yeah, it seems to fit at about that time. Everybody does.
Right,
Uh,
and that means that we need more concrete evidence that this is actually happening. It's like angelic milanthropy and demonic milanthropy, and of course there's cultic milanthropy, which is what we do all the time. Our grandmother was doing this, and her grandmother was doing this, so it's not new to us.
no, no, that's exactly what you're saying. The whole idea about it is presenting more. The thing is that we're the only ones that conducted the study. I think Dark Ripper tried doing it in '96, and then he got pulled away to Bosnia and all that. So so when I talked to Anacoma, so she's basically telling me that, hey, when are we going to put something out? When are we going to put out a paper or talk to the other metaphysicists? And I'm like, well, it's the same thing what you said, Arcadia. The thing is that no matter, I mean, for us, when I'm talking about us, so we got 3 studies going on. We got the study of New Orleans, we got the study in Chicago, we got the study in New York, and the 4 studies, we got the study in Belgrade, in Serbia. And for all of them, all these morons that are disrespecting the dead, including when they disrespect grave robbers and all that with Patricia Wells and all that, what happened is that they're getting either flat out killed, or getting really sick, or getting in accidents between the 3rd day and the 5th day. So in other words, sometimes it happens on the 3rd day, the 4th day, or the 5th day, but it does happen on all those days. It doesn't happen beforehand. It kind of makes you wonder metaphysically about the time variation between our time and our dimension, our real time, and the time being experienced by the dead or something. That obviously we don't know. We don't know anything about that. We know, like I said, that time and space are relative because you got your E equals MC squares. As far as Einstein is concerned, that's real. So can we actually prove that people that are disrespecting the dead are getting hurt within that time frame? Well, we can actually prove without a doubt that that's certainly happening in the studies that we had in New Orleans, Serbia, New York, and Chicago. So there's no doubt we can do that. So that should pique somebody's interest. And it's really obvious that we're not the ones doing it, even though we're using a lot of the same tactics. Basically, if you're an angel, demon, or a cultist, or just an entity that already passed on, milanthropy seems to be the method to avenging these offenders. And I that's worth something. Even if it's a theory. So maybe we should put a preliminary paper out. Just kind of like talking about what we think and theorize on. Certainly we can talk about how the method of it, how milanthropy is happening. People should know about milanthropy anyway, normal people, so that when it happens to them, they can take heed and learn not to be distracted by certain oppressive forces. So we gotta put that into perspective, real time perspective.